Bro, should we fucking get into it, man?
Yeah, let's fucking get to it. Wow. Vincent.
Huh?
There you go. All right, bro.
I took some notes on the fights I watched.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let me pull mine up.
A1 notes.
A1 notes. I love it.
I just love one. So on one of our clips, the Khabib one, a guy commented trash.
No.
Yeah. So I just liked
Did
it.
you really?
Yeah. I just loves Khabib. You can tell. Khabib
Trash.
trash.
What are you saying trash to? Khabib?
Yeah,
That's
just
a hater, bro. Fuck the hater.
Whatever. At least they didn't roast me this time.
What's that?
At least they didn't roast me this time.
Yeah, true. All right. You have like some entrance, like. Ready? You good?
Oh, I was born good, I think.
Right, do it. Welcome back to UFCollins with my boy Patty Moore, Nikki C. Second
Hello.
episode. This is Pat. He's the producer / the GOAT of
Sexy
podcast. Go Peep Point God podcast and Dirty Crime Boys. And any more else? Any more plugs?
No, that's it. Unless I make up another podcast.
Stay tuned because we'll have more plugs in. Let's get right into it from the UFC Fight Night from this past Saturday, which was headlined by Alexander Volkov and Alister Overeem. Which think of the fights, Pat? So, whichever one stood out to you first. Let's start into it.
The first one I watched was it Cory sandHagen?
Oh yeah.
That him?
Yeah.
I was watching that and I was like, that was a quick watch. Flying knee, KO. Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
First off,
he felt like a sack brick.
First off, how does this matchup even happen? 5'11 versus 5'6. How does
You
that
want
even
to get your mind blown? The guy he knocked out, Frankie Edgar, was a champion at 155, 20 pounds heavier.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Swear to God. He fought BJ Penn. He beat BJ Penn like 3 times.
He's got some fight, I guess. Dude, I was like 5'11", 5'6", and I was just waiting. Because, like, Cory hit him with, like, a nice leg kick right away, and I was like, this one's going to be over quick. And then just the flying knee. I was like, oh, all right.
Dude, the way he set it up, too, to where he, like, tabbed him and then just fucking switched kneed him, and it was, like, kink right in the button and just fell like a sack of bricks. It was fucking wild.
That was fucking crazy.
And, like, so I was watching it with Scott, and I was like, and the sound wasn't working whatsoever. And me and him were like, we were like, oh, the size difference kind of takes it, like, you could tell it's a lot. And all of a sudden, think, it's just over. We just looked at each other like, that just happened?
Yeah, I feel like the only thing he could have done is take him to the ground, and that's it.
Yeah, probably, like, wrestle and ground about him.
Yeah.
And even then, fucking sandHagen is, like, insane ground game, too. So he might have gotten dominated on that.
So is he 14-2 now, or is he 15-2?
Who, sandHagen?
Yeah.
I think he might be 15-2.
Yeah. So that was a bantamweight fight, right?
Yeah, 135.
So I have I'm casual. I have a question for you. Can you go over the weight rankings for me?
Yeah. So you start, like, I'll go from the bottom up. You have
right.
125, which is flyweight, to bantamweight, which is 135. So they go up every 10 pounds besides 155 and 170. So it'll go 125 flyweight, 135 bantamweight, 145 featherweight, 155 lightweight. Then welterweight would be 170, middleweight 185, light heavyweight is 205, and then anything up from that is heavyweight.
Okay. Oh, I'd be a light heavyweight then.
Yeah, you'd be light heavyweight.
Oh my god, I'd fucking die.
Picture finding John Jones. That's light heavyweight.
Wow.
Yeah, or Chuck Liddell even.
Well, him now.
Him now, yeah, you can fucking poke him. You can fucking go down.
Yeah. Boo.
Dude, you remember when Blue Mountain State eating the fucking penis gobblers with Sammy Cacciatore?
It's just his imagination the whole time.
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's one of my favorite episodes ever, though.
Oh, that was a good show.
That was a phenomenal show. I'm upset they took that off of Netflix.
Yeah.
And Cory sandHagen is 14-2.
14-2.
Yeah. So who sandHagen had just lost to, who's now fighting for the belt in March. We'll talk about that. Aljamain Sterling, Long Island native, fire guy, choked out sandHagen in like 90 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can only imagine the levels to that. Just wild.
Yeah. Because he fucking looked good. Real good.
Yeah, he did. He looked on a tear, too. Like, the way he even, like, entered the octagon, he was just, like, ready to go.
So is he rated? Or is he ranked in the bantam weight at all, or no?
sandHagen?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be the number 3 guy, I would imagine. Let's see. Yeah, he should be 3. The rankings get updated tomorrow, so he might have moved up. They always do it on Tuesday instead of Monday, so it's weird.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense.
No, it's all fake too. It's like USA Today does it. Yeah, he's number 2 actually, and the guy who choked him out is number 1, who's fighting for the belt in March.
Oh, it's like the BCS National Championship poll for the belt.
Yeah, essentially.
No, who's he fighting for the belt, or does he have the belt?
Who
was it? Sterling?
No, Sterling's fighting for it. He's fighting this guy Peter Yan, some Russian dude who doesn't speak a lick of English. He was just a straight fucking killer. He terrifies me.
Most Russians, intimidating bunch.
Especially, yeah, that's true. When you fight fucking trees and shit. There's that video with that girl eating she's like chewing up that bamboo tree and just like shredding it. She's punching it.
Wrestling bears.
Yeah, wrestling bears. Another fight that stood out was Alister Overeem versus Alexander Volkov, the main event. Let's get right to it. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
How bad was that?
Dude, what? So, first off, I want to make a comment. 40 years old? Jesus Christ. 40 years old and you're still fighting? Maybe it's time to hang it up, man.
Yeah.
Secondly, I just want to say, I don't know Overeem. I never watched him before. Why was he trying to throw leg kicks? Did you see his leg kicks? They were so bad. What was he doing?
I mean, this is a bad attempt at a leg kick, too.
He did it like twice, and it was like he was trying to do like a leg stomp, but it was just like,
yeah.
But he was like so slow with it, and Volkov was like, all right, I know this is coming. Like,
his head kick,
like, threw his whole body into it.
Where he kept falling when he did the head kick?
Yeah.
That was fucked up. Yeah, he looked bad. It was a sad performance because he's a legend in the sport of MMA. He has 4 wins. He has a win in every decade from starting in the 90s.
Really?
Yeah, so from like 99, he has like 4 wins, and then like through today, he has like a bunch of wins in different decades. He's like the only active fighter to have that. But this guy fought Brock Lesnar in like 2011 when he was juiced to the gills, bro. Like, look that guy up, and you could just tell the difference of a fighter and what he looked like. You could tell why he was slow is because he's on juice. I mean, I would like for Alister to like do one more, like 3 fights, and I guess as like a fucking gatekeeper of the heavyweight division, but he shouldn't make a run at the title. And what he was throwing on Saturday was just so bad. Like, as you would say, it's just like Volkov knew what he was throwing next. Like, he goes, oh, the light kick's coming. I'm going to just step out of the way. Yeet.
Yeah. He just teed on him pretty much. It was just what I thought more. It was just like Volkov was more. It looked like fundamentally sound. Well, he looked awkward. Overeem just looked awkward fighting.
I did, and I mean, to his credit though, he did look tough. I mean, he survived. It was stopped in the second or third. I think second.
Yeah.
But his back was up against the cage. I think multiple times at the end of the first. And when the referee was like, "Do something," he moved. Like he tried to do the takedown. He hurtled up. He ran, but like he showed some activity that I don't know. I think I'm just making a poor excuse for him, but it was sad to see because he's such a legend in the game.
Yeah.
You want to see him go out on top, but sometimes it's just like you're in there. Like, how much can you fight to where it's like not enjoyable anymore?
Yeah, dude, freaking his Volkov's back tattoo, very serious.
Very serious, bro.
I was like, oh. But dude, I wasn't even impressed with him
before too.
Huh?
You've seen that guy fight before too.
Oh, really?
Thinking back to October 6th, 2018, Khabib versus McGregor, Derek Lewis versus Alexander Volkov when he knocks him out with 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
That's that guy. That is that guy.
I wasn't really impressed with him either.
No. It was kind of just like a moving target.
It was just a fight night.
Yeah, literally. He was just like, all right. I mean, he did look like he had more power than he has before. But I was reading up, he cut weight for this fight. He went in at 263. The heavyweight weight limit is 265. So he had to cut. He said he had to cut a couple pounds.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hard to cut weight at heavyweight.
Yeah.
Greg Hardy's the only person ever to miss weight at heavyweight.
Great fighter.
By like 5 pounds. Well, I think it was like 5 pounds he missed it by. Like he weighed in like 270.
Is he still fighting?
Yeah. He fought Volkov one time and then lost. But yeah. He just got his last fight, he got taken down to the ground and got beat up. Like bad. He didn't know what he was doing on the ground. And Joe Rogan was commentating it and he was like, yeah, he looks like he doesn't know what to do on the ground.
Yeah, because he played football.
I was like, yeah, he's a football player. All right. Let's see what we got here. So we have the Alister Overeem, Volkov. I'd say what's next for Volkov would probably be a fight with Junior Dos Santos. Or maybe let me pull up the heavyweight rankings real quick. She was on deck there after the Stipe A and Ngannou fight. Yeah, so Volkov is number 6. Overeem was 5. So you could see a Derek Lewis Volkov rematch, maybe even a Curtis Blades. He's pretty good. He's like a wrestling version. Like he's like a Curtis Blades is like he's kind of like a Khabib of the heavyweight division. He kind of just wrestles you and just bears you down.
Sounds like a 2K my player just name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curtis Blades. Yeah, literally. I mean, the heavyweight division is pretty. The problem with the heavyweight division is how many guys in it that are known. Like it's either you've been around for a while or you're up and coming. To where the heavyweights you fought aren't as big of a name. To where you have just an easy way to being 16-0 per se. So when you go and fight like a guy like Francis Ngannou or Overeem, that's when you might get knocked out. So like even Overeem, say his next fight's against an up and comer, who knows that that up and comer is really legit because Overeem could beat him. That may not mean that Overeem is back to being like who he is. It means like the people who they get for the heavyweight division isn't as good as it once has been. Like I remember back in the day, like the heavyweight division was like the cream of the crop. So it was you had the light heavyweights and the heavyweights. Like that's what everybody tuned in for. You had the Cain Velasquez, Brock Lesnar's, Junior Dos Santos in his prime, and I mean Stipe really has been carrying the heavyweight division, and hasn't really had that change of that spice that it once had. I'd like to see them add more to the heavyweight division. I mean, honestly, a lot of their guys are in Bellator now that they let go, which I'm surprised about. But I don't know. It should be interesting to see how they adapt because Overeem has. I'm looking at the rankings, and Overeem has fought every single one of them. So he might just have to retire.
Yeah, I just fought everyone, so.
Got knocked out. Well, dude, he got knocked out by Stipe, and I forgot who was interviewing him, and Overeem was like, "Yeah, I thought he tapped." He was like, "No, you got knocked out." He's like, "Yeah, I thought he tapped." It was funny.
Can't imagine being 40 years old, still fighting, still taking all those punches. I don't even want to know what his brain's like.
Right? Like, this is a 44-year-old, I think, still fighting.
Messed up.
It's fucked up, dude. It's a game that people can't leave. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And, like, there's more eyes on the sport, so you're going to see more guys with, like, CTE coming out soon where it's going to take a stand of, like, yep, yeah, seriously, he's got it. You could tell he's got it. Tito Ortiz, that guy's not right in the head. That guy's a mayor. What did you? All right, so let's bring this to. Since we last spoke, a lot has actually happened in the MMA world, minus the UFC fight night. Even though we just covered those two fights, we have Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. It was announced the day after we released the first episode of the UFCollins Podcast. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that? I don't know if you've been following.
So, I don't see. I don't. I'm now. Oh my God, can I talk? Jesus. All right. So, Jake Paul. Last time I saw him, I'm like, oh, he actually can be a pretty good boxer. Like he's got that KO power. Askren, I don't think can box. I don't really know him. I haven't watched him much. He's known for being a wrestler, right? So like, I think Jake Paul might actually have this one.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Like it's a crapshoot because Jake Paul has had like he shows he has the power and like the KO power, but it's also look whose two fights were someone that's a YouTuber and an MMA fighter.
Nate Roberts.
I'm not saying Nate Roberts is not tough. I'm just saying Nate Roberts has never been in an official boxing fight. You know what I mean? So whereas Ben Askren's reasoning of it actually makes somewhat sense. It's like I'm a pro fighter, so I know how to stay in a fight. He said I may not have the knockout power, or the striking, but I'm tough enough to be like I could outstand him. Like I was like he's right because if he let Paul just tee off on him in the first 3 rounds, he was gonna gas Paul out. And then he could just tee him up. He doesn't have to be like so powerful or like technical in his striking. Once Paul is gassed, he's gassed. And just kill him. That's how I see the fight actually happening. That's my early prediction of the fight. I'll probably change that day of, but
yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting.
The lead up to it will be good because Askren is very funny and Jake Paul's just a fucking idiot. So
it's funny too because you can tell Ben Askren isn't taking this so seriously. Like he's taking the fight seriously, but he's not taking like the build up as if it's like a world title fight. How he was against like Masvidal or something like that. He's just like, oh, this is fucking hilarious. People are gonna be watching, so why wouldn't I make this guy a joke? But Jake Paul is like, oh, what do you mean? Like Ben Askren's gonna get on Jake Paul's skin.
The only thing I will say for Jake Paul, like what looks bad. You were talking all that shit when Conor McGregor lost, and you're fighting Ben Askren.
Yeah.
Like, at least if you were fighting McGregor, he's actually was in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. Like, that, and then you could talk shit. But, so you're talking about a man that lost in the UFC, and then you go and fight Ben Askren. Why are you talking? Don't talk shit.
You're fighting a wrestler.
Yeah.
And then he wants to say he's the best boxer in the world. I'm like, but you haven't boxed a boxer.
Yeah.
Like you can go on YouTube. There's no such thing as a Ben Askren striking video because it doesn't exist. It's the funniest thing. I love Ben Askren.
It's him just striking out.
Ben Askren dick rider. Dude, he's just like, you watch Ben Askren will throw a spinning back fist 15 fucking miles away from his opponent. And it's so bad. I'll send it to you later. It's so bad. So when I heard this fight was booked, I was like, that's hysterical that Jake Paul booked this. Because he was trying to fight Connor's boy, Dylan Dennis.
Yep. Like, that would have been... That's even better than...
That would have been fine. I wouldn't mind. I think I would have rooted for Jake Paul in that one, though. Dylan Dennis.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. I probably would have picked Dan. I hate Jake Paul so much. I just did.
He's annoying. He's so annoying. You see what he was doing to Ben Askren's wife?
No.
He slid into his DM. Like, you know how he was only following McGregor's wife?
Yeah.
So he was only following Ben's wife. Slid into her DMs and was like, what's up, cutie, or something like that with like a heart. And she responded with, because she's a real estate agent. She was like, I heard you're selling your house. If you need a realtor, I'm here. I'm available. And he just didn't respond.
That's awesome.
And then he was in a video or doing an interview with Ariel Helwani. And it got so awkward. Ariel was like, so why are you only following Ben's wife? And it got silent. And Jake was like, because she's thick. And he said in such a dick way. So Ben videotaped his wife. He's like, so Amy, what do you think about you being called thick? She was like, I don't know what that fucking means. She's like fucking 40. She's the ultimate fucking trash talker in this fight.
Fucking Jake Paul, man.
I hate that guy. Speaking of his brother, he's fighting Floyd Mayweather.
Yep.
It was supposed to happen this month.
Mm-hmm.
But they pushed it back.
Yeah.
Because did you hear about the weird pay-per-view model that they did?
No, all I heard was just the business side of it. That's why it's getting.
Yeah, so they try to do this thing with the pay-per-view model where it's like usually instead of buying it the day of, but it's like $69, they did it where they staggered it to where it's like this week you can purchase it for $10, then next week you can purchase it for $20, and then $40, and then $50, and then like $60 the day of.
Jesus.
So it's like you can't track the pay-per-view buys by that because we're Americans and they're not going to buy it ahead of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they were like, it's not you. So that it wasn't tracking to do well at all. So they pushed it back, and I probably did the old pay-per-view model.
Yeah, like.
I get they were trying to do though.
Yeah, they were trying to reward the people that buy early. And then because everyone I know is like the day of, we're like, oh, let's get the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
That's
same.
what it is. So they were trying to do that and get more money on that, I guess. But I feel like people would smarten up to it, and they're like, a lot of people would just change it and be like, all right, I'll buy earlier then, you know?
That's true.
It's like, I feel like that would affect. Just make it one uniform buy, you know? It's just easier.
Exactly. I mean, I thought it made sense because it's actually kind of a cool model, but it doesn't work because like what you said, you know people that buy it the day up. Like you don't know what. So say the fight's February 20th, right? And they announced it November 3rd, and then that next week, Thanksgiving week per se, is on. You can buy it for $14. You're not gonna you're gonna forget you bought that thing like fucking months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's on, and you're like, oh shit. I forgot.
That's weird.
It's weird, right? And plus, it's $14. Say everybody buys it at $14. You're not making much money.
Yeah. And secondly, how does Logan Paul get Mayweather?
Yep.
Before Jake Paul gets Mayweather.
Yeah. No. And Logan Paul's 0-2. And
yeah.
2-0.
I don't get that. How does Jake not get that fight first?
Dude, Jake probably didn't want it. Supposedly they're both bigger than Floyd. Like the Askren fight's at like 190.
Logan has no shot.
No, dude. If K
I've seen him box before. There's no shot.
Kasai, right? We saw that fight, right? With that's the YouTube guy. He sucked.
Yeah.
He was fucking awful. He hit him in the back of the head and thought he slipped.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my god, dude, you got knocked out. What do you mean?
So bad.
So it's honestly like it's sad that they're getting a spotlight. To be honest with you, because it doesn't. I'm not a big boxing fan, but it just shows what the state of boxing is in. That you need a retired MMA fighter / wrestling legend to gain attraction to the sport for 2 YouTube Disney stars.
Yep.
It's like, and then one of them gets a shot with one of the greatest boxers of all time, Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, the money is there and everything, but like, what? Like, why? Like, why are we giving these guys a platform?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's just basically like spitting on real boxers in a way. If you really think about it, it's like, oh, if you just have the clout, if you have the fame, then you can just hop into any sport or anything, you know? Well, there's some fucking kid probably 18 years old right now grinding, poor as shit, grinding, trying to get up to where they are. And it's like, okay, oh, Jake Paul wants to be a boxer. Oh, okay. Yeah, he has the money for it. He literally has all the resources. The kid training in the basement doesn't have the same resources or the money.
Exactly,
It's like,
bro. Exactly.
It's like, okay.
It's a slap in the face.
Especially if boxing is such like kind of a scrappy sport where it's like you root for the underdog. So it's like in this one, it's just like, all right, you have 2 spoiled rich kids that are fighting because they think they're boxers now because they got bored of just being YouTubers.
Yeah. And I gotta give more credit to Logan Paul than him, Jake Paul. I'm not gonna lie. Because Logan's actually stepping in the ring with a boxer, whereas Jake's never stepped in the ring with a boxer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I get boxing. What's that?
They're both, the Paul brothers are definitely both working at it. Like, I'm not trying to take that away from them, but like.
Oh, right. But I mean, like you said, that's going back to what you said, like, they're rich and they have the money. Yeah. So, yeah, they're going to have the best coaches. They're going to have the best training partners. It's like it's no different. That's like me and you saying, like, I'm trying to find a good example, but it's always like, we're trying to go at a goal, right? But you have that more of a resources to become good at getting that goal, whereas opposed to me who doesn't have any of those resources, that's going to struggle more and more to get to that goal. You know what I mean? Like you have a faster ticket to get there.
Whack.
Fucked up. Yeah, I hate this world. Stephan A. Smith made some sound waves over the past couple weeks when we last talked about women's MMA. And we really actually talked about women's MMA in the first episode about how there aren't like there's tiers to it. Mm-hmm. Like there aren't as many tiers as it was. And I thought what I said was bad. Stephan A. was fucking way off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if nobody has heard, Stephan A. Smith practically said he doesn't want to see women fighting or punching each other in the face because it's not appealing to him.
Bad.
Who gives a fuck? Yeah, that's bad take. That's a bad take.
Bad.
Yeah, I'm
not shocked.
No, I think what he's trying to get there, though. You know what I mean? Like, what do you get out of that?
Nothing. All right. So the only argument you can make between men fighting and women fighting is the product of men's fighting is better. That's just, and that's not me being sexist. That's just a fact. The product is better, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, women shouldn't fight. Women shouldn't get the same opportunities as men. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be like, oh, like, do I enjoy? I don't even enjoy men hitting each other in the face that much, to be honest with you. Do I enjoy women? No, not really. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, basically say like, oh, yeah, it's not a womanly thing to do to be in the UFC octagon to fight. Like, like shut up, man.
Like that's like I took it back to where it's like, that's why women have such a hard time getting to where they're at now because of stuff like that. Like they're told they couldn't play football or they couldn't play basketball or do the other sport, play hockey, what other sport you have because it wasn't women-like or girl-like to play. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I agree with you. It's not the best. Like, it's hard to watch women beat each other up, but it's also, I get it. Like I'm not opposed to them fighting. You know, I mean, it's not the best product, like you said, but it's also their right to do so. And the UFC gives them an equal platform. Do it, and I would say it's one of the best equal platforms to do it because look, the WWA has their own stuff and the NBA has their own stuff. UFC puts them all together. Women's fighting and men's fighting. They don't have a women's card. They don't have a men's card separately. They put them all together. Women's fight can main event a fucking a men's card. You know what I mean? Like a men and women has main events, and it's a man. Like I think it's one of the most like diverse sports to showcase women's MMA, women's sports in general. I'd say. I firmly believe that because you don't see any other sport promoting like women in their sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't see there's women's football leagues too out there. You don't see the NFL promoting that.
Oh no.
You don't see like I know the NBA does some WNBA stuff, but that's because of recently like of what's going on in the world about this topic.
And that's more the NBA players too.
Yeah, exactly. The NBA doesn't go and like promote them or like strike a deal with TNT to air the Liberty versus Mercury game before the Rackets Nets game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or even like a softball league in America. I don't know. And Stephen A. Smith isn't helping that.
No.
Because he's in a position to protest against that and be like, we need more women. Like, you saying that is against all women's sports, if you think about it.
I mean, am I shocked that he thinks like that? No, not at all. He's Stephen A. Smith, man. If you listen to half the shit he says, he's just talking out of his ass most of the time. He's just trying to be entertaining, but and especially because like the UFC for women's, I feel like has been one of the most successful sports for women, if you really think about it. Because you were saying the equal opportunities and stuff like that. Like WNBA is struggling. Softball is not really a popular sport. Like UFC women's is like the only sport that's actually really doing pretty well. You know.
Yeah.
And it's just like why would you? What did he have to gain to make that comment?
Right. I didn't get
Shut
like,
up.
and there was also no like point the finger of why you had to say it either. Like nothing was in the news about it.
Yeah.
Like no one thought of women MMA as like something in the news recently until Stephen A. said something.
Yeah.
Or it's like, really, dude?
Himself. He was like, "Take a seat, guys. I got this. You need some headlines."
Yeah, right. He goes,
Let me
women's
be
MMA.
sexist.
COVID-19? Nah, bro. Women's MMA is the real pandemic. Like, really, dude?
Oh my god, he's so stupid.
It's so sad too that's like I guess you could say that's like where like ESPN is where most people go, like the casual sports fans, and that's the showcase guy. He's spreading that shit.
And it's so funny, especially in the media companies, bro. It's so funny that certain companies get labeled as sexist and shit like that, and ESPN's the one that's supposed to be equal opportunity for everyone. They make such a big deal about it, and then you have someone like Stephen A. Smith. Probably you're paying him the most money there too.
Yeah,
saying shit like that, and it's like, oh, okay. So you want to come after everyone else for being sexist, but when it's in your own backyard, it's fine.
Also, ESPN hosts the UFC, so you're depromoting a promotion that your company that pays you your checks promotes and hosts. So you're losing your company's money.
When he made his comments about Cowboy Cerrone, he should have just gave up on UFC entirely. He should have just kept his mouth shut.
Yeah, I agree.
But no,
I agree.
Not Stephen A. No.
Dude, I remember that when he had his hand on Joe Rogan's shoulder, and Joe Rogan's just looking at him like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah. I was like, that's bad. Dude, that was fucking wild. When he said that. Let's get into some rough and rowdy.
Oh yeah, fighting.
I'm down to talk about it. This past weekend, somebody lives on a rock and there's no Barstool Sports is. They own a Rough and Rowdy, which is Pat, you probably know more about this. Their boxing company, right?
Yeah, so it's amateur boxing, and they bought it. So the original thing is Portnoy would just announce it for him, and it was like very entertaining. So they ended up just buying it. So now they just do a bunch of different things with it. They usually have a lot of people in Barstool fight one another, fight people from outside the company. Like, I think the first one was 2 employees fighting, Hank and Tex. That was the first Barstool Rough and Rowdy. But I think I want to say it's in West Virginia, I want to say.
Yeah,
Usually.
it's like 6 states, right?
Mm-hmm. I think they move it around because they had, for the Super Bowl, not this Super Bowl, the last one, they had one down in Miami too. So it's just amateur boxing. It's just people getting drunk in the stands and people just throwing haymakers, getting knocked out. Very entertaining. So they fought. It was Billy Football versus Jose Canseco was the main event. What a matchup. Billy's younger than me, I think. I think he's 21.
He's 21, yeah.
He's fighting a fucking 56-year-old guy, freaking juiced up.
He took a dive.
Dude, that was so bad. 15 seconds in, Billy knocks him out, pretty much. Jose just was like, I don't think Jose thought that Billy was gonna attack him like that, like right off the bat, and he was just like, he just fell and he was done.
I was thinking about this too. So yeah, the way he fell, like he got hit, like Billy came out swinging at him, and then Jose was just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna fall, pretend to hurt my injury, like my shoulder." That's how the fight ended. I also could have seen that going like 3 rounds in, and like going at the end of the bell and be like, "Oh, I can't continue."
Yeah. So he just wanted the money. Essentially,
$1 million.
Yeah, he wanted the money. So he's probably got.
He got like half of the. Yeah, he got like pay-per-view buys too. Everybody bought the shit out of that.
Yep. Yeah, I've only really watched one, which was the first one. I never really went back to it because like the Hank and Tex matchup, that one I liked because I'm a big part of my fan, so I like that one. But this one I was just like, it's like I'm probably not gonna buy it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't because
legally. Yeah, seriously, the best was what's his name, Big Cat. It was like, Dave, I think we just got played. Dave was like, no, I think it's seriously hot. Dave was in denial.
Yeah. I remember it was either second or third Rough and Rowdy. They made the first part free, and then when it got to the main event ones, they made it the pay-per-view, kind of like UFC and stuff like that. And then they forgot to make it like to lock the people out for the pay-per-view so people could just view it for free. Yeah.
That's fucking sweet.
Yeah. So I think they had to stop it and be like, "Oh no, we need the pay-per-view buys." So
not making any money.
Yeah, no, that's great. Some great television.
Oh, I bet. Speaking of boxing, I guess you could say rough and rowdy, fucking bare knuckle fighting. The former UFC fighter Paige VanZant made her, I guess you could say, anticlimactic debut because she lost.
Yeah.
To Britain Hart.
Mm.
Yeah, that was her name. Who is not a person, she's a feeling. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
Oh, can I play it on here? Can we do that?
Probably, yeah.
All right, sweet. It was very cringy. I felt bad. It's bad.
I watched that fight and I was just like, wow. I never watched bare knuckle fighting before, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be so gruesome. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle this, but it wasn't actually that bad as I thought.
No, that one was like, I gotta be honest, that one's like one of the less brutal fights I've seen from them. I've seen guys fucking like their teeth, they're like crooked and then down out their lip and shit.
Oof.
Fuck that.
Dude, they were taking shots at each other. It wasn't like it was like a tame fight. They were pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I don't know if you saw fucking Paige VanZant through a knee.
Yep.
Fight, yeah. I can't find it right now. But yeah, without scrolling through videos. Britain Hart, she was getting interviewed after the fight, and she was like, I'm not a person. I am a feeling. And I was like, what? So you get hit in the head too much.
Yep.
she goes, I'm not human. I go, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to
My
the
gas.
fight.
I have gas.
Yeah. Paige VanZant, she came on good in the first round, I'd say, and then from rounds 2, 3, 4, looked fucking awful.
Mm.
In my opinion. And then 5, she turned it up. I honestly thought she won the fight, not gonna lie. Because Paige VanZant has a bigger draw than Britain Hart. And it would only make sense if they had Paige VanZant win. Because I thought this shit's scripted. But I guess not. But yeah.
So what's the whole story of Paige VanZant? Like, did she get cut by the UFC or did she just walk away willingly?
So her contract was up, and the UFC pretty much she lost her last fight back in July on her contract, and if she were to win, she probably would have leverage to get re-signed by the UFC or to go anywhere. But she lost, so it was kind of like now it was in the UFC's court to be like, we get to resign, we can resign you or not.
Yeah.
So they were like, we're not going to resign you because she was already looking at other options to begin with because she said she didn't make enough money at the UFC. But Dana White had a good rebuttal to it. He was like, yeah, you make your social media money because you're in the UFC.
Yeah.
It's not you that makes your money. It's not you makes that money. And also you're in the UFC. It's because you're in the UFC, you make such and such type of thing, which I understood that in the world of social media influencers and stuff.
Yeah.
So she was looking for a payday, but when you lose your last fight, you're not going to get much of a payday.
Yeah.
So it was either that or Bellator was like the 2 of MMA. Now, here's why I thought she went to bare knuckle fighting. Because she has broken her arm 5 times in the past 2 years. She's had so many surgeries to where if she was to get into a grappling exchange and grab that arm, I think it breaks again. So it didn't make sense for her to fight and do an MMA. So it made sense for her to go bare knuckle, but to get paid $400,000, fucking wild.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how she got to bare knuckle fighting. So it's kind of like a last ditch effort, easy payday, because you just have to show up, and who knows if you're going to be good or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. So in the UFC, was she more of a striker, or was she more of a ground and pound?
I would say she had good ground game, but she was also good in the clinch, up against the cage, working type of thing. She didn't have the best striking, but she did well enough to fucking hold her own.
Yeah.
She wasn't I never thought she was terrible, to be honest. I thought she could stay in the UFC to where she's she won't ever be a champion or a title contender, but she could stay a mid-level type of fighter for about however long she wanted to fight.
Yeah.
I just think if she never opened up her mouth about the pay, she would have been probably in the UFC still. But even then, supposedly she was right, because I follow her on Instagram. She was saying that she didn't want to fight anymore. She told her husband after the fight, she was like, I'm done fighting. It's yeah, so you're just in it for the money now. That's essentially what you're doing.
So now she has OnlyFans now?
That's cool. Yeah. Supposedly. Yeah.
Dude, if I could sell my body like that hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right? OnlyFans.
You're the platform. Is it the platform too now?
Baby. Hell yeah.
Right?
Sell my nudes. Hell yeah. Get that paper, girl. No judgment for me. She'll probably make more on OnlyFans than her UFC career.
Oh, probably, bro. Probably what, 20 subscribe that shit?
Bella Thorne made so much and she didn't even post anything on OnlyFans.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, she finessed everyone. So who knows? Get that paper.
Get that bread, bro. Gotta chase the bag.
Bro, I did have a story that reminded me just of, because we were talking about boxing. So do you remember freshman year?
Yes.
College. This is what I would do. I would not study for any of the nursing tests. I would study for an hour maybe the night before. And then I would I had this weird thing in my head where I was like, oh, I can motivate myself to get these right answers. I need to know the right answer. But at the time I was like, I'll just watch motivational videos and I'll get these answers right. I just have to have the mindset. So I'd watch the Buster Douglas Why video.
Yes,
Remember that? I'd
yes,
watch it all the
yes.
time before a test and I'd be like, oh, I got this. I'd be pumped.
Dude, I remember that. That was your
And
video, bro.
yeah, I would go to the test and I'll be like, wait, no, actually, it just turns out I just don't know the answers. I would just
Like
guess.
Buster Douglas, fuck.
Yeah.
It's
Something in my
so
mind
hard.
was like, no, like I can just like motivate myself to get the right answer. No. In anatomy, you just need to know the material to pass.
Buster Douglas can't help. Such a good video, though. Gets you hyped.
Yeah. Oh, also, second question. Why? So, in the UFC, and I noticed in bare knuckle fighting, what? So for the girl fights, why do they still have like ring girls? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right?
I don't
Yeah.
get that. I get it for the viewership for the guys because it's mostly guys watching it, but like still,
Yeah.
it's just it's like, oh, we have two girls going at it, like, ooh, feminism, and then there's like, oh wait, no, there's a girl in like Skippy outfit,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, oh wait,
You know,
where are
dude,
we at in society?
that's $1 million question that I don't even know. I don't even
Yeah.
think that's like brought up enough. I remember, I think that UFC had a male ring card guy, and I don't know what happened to him. To be honest,
I'll be the male ring card guy. Sign
this
me up.
is
I'll
the
go
attraction right
shirtless
there. Patty Mo, baby.
in a speedo, showing off my cheeks.
There you go. Speedo. Could you imagine?
Jesus,
Dude.
I'd have to stuff the speedo. That was
Well,
unnatural.
a UFC fighter came down to the ring like that. Just
Stuff
Speedo.
or in a speedo.
It looked stuff. It looked stuff. And Joe Rogan was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Guy never fought in the UFC again.
McGregor just had like a full-on boner during the weigh-in,
The weigh-in at the Mayweather fight.
and then just didn't care about it.
You know that's the actual thing though. When you cut weight, you get uncontrollable boners.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they were talking about it on Joe Rogan, and he was like, "Yeah, that's like a legit thing. When you cut too much water weight, your blood energy like goes to your penis like in a short amount of time, so you have uncontrollable boners."
Like,
I can only imagine how many times like that's happened to him too.
just like you and just hanging out with you and your girl. She's like, getting like so many boners. It's like, nah, it's not you. Cutting water weight today.
Did you have any girls you probably lose?
It's not you. It's me.
Not you. The water weight.
It's the water.
Before, let's see what we got here. Oh, we got some good upcoming title fights. We got about 7 of the UFC titles on the line between February 13th to March 27th.
Oh, baby.
We have, starting this weekend, we have Gilbert Burns versus Kamaru Usman.
Yep.
And we'll have Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson. We'll have, so you have Burns Usman this weekend, February 13th. March 6th, we come back for 3 title fights in the pay-per-view. Nunes Anderson, Aljamain versus Jan, and I believe the next one is what's that third one? Israel Adesanya and Jan Blachowicz. Those 3 are fighting.
Ooh.
Jan and Izzy for the light heavyweight strap, and at the end of March you have Brian Ortega versus Alexander Volkanovski for the featherweight title, and you have Stipe versus Francis for the heavyweight.
Ooh. Yeah, March is going to be stacked, man.
Stacked, bro. 5 title fights in a month?
Yeah, jeez.
Fucking wild.
Wow. Huh. Just looking at the fight night, March 13th. Kamzat Chimov?
Oh, dude. Versus Leon Edwards?
Yeah.
Have you seen that guy fight?
No.
He's fucking
I
insane.
actually, I might have.
His fight lasts like 2 seconds. When that fight card gets closer, we'll talk about that. But Leon Edwards is kind of in a fuck situation. I don't know why he ever took that fight. So Hamzat is the first 2 guys he's fought in the UFC, 3 fights in the UFC, came against like 2 guys unranked, 1 guy ranked but low in the middleweight division. And now he's fighting the top. Leon Edwards is the number 3 guy in the welterweight division.
Mm-hmm.
So now how does it make sense for Hamzat to fight the number 3 guy when he's not ranked?
Oh, yeah. That is fucked.
And that fight's been canceled where it's almost like it shouldn't happen because it doesn't make sense. But Dana's like, no, this makes sense. No, it doesn't.
Leon has everything to lose in that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Leon's got an 8-fight win streak. To where he can fight for a title.
Is the other guy like that good?
I honestly don't know because the guys who he's fought hasn't been like the best.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To where it's like, I guess you could say he's good. He's electric. Put it that way. Like his first 2 fights, he fucking like he only got hit twice. His 3rd fight, it literally took 90 seconds for him just to do 1 punch and knock the guy out. Like literally, it was insane. It's sensational knockouts, but it's not like enough to be like, oh, he can fight the number 3 welterweight.
Yeah.
What? So you're saying if he beats him, he's gonna fight for a title match?
That's crazy.
Everybody.
That's crazy.
They try to fight him. They try to pin him and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in a fight, and Wonderboy was like, "How does that make any sense?" He was like, "I'm not fighting that guy."
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna fight him ever, but I'm just saying like he's not ranked.
Business doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because it makes Dana White more money, and he probably doesn't like Leon Edwards, so he's like, I don't like you. Let's get rid of you.
Fucked. That's fucked.
Yeah.
When is Sugar Sean O'Malley back?
That he's on the Stipe card, so March 27th.
Ooh, I'll be pumped for
So
that.
that should be good. He's fighting Thomas Almeida, which is a good fight for him. I think he wins that one. I don't know.
Yeah, his last one was just him getting unlucky, right? Just broke his foot.
He was unlucky. He rolled his ankle before he walked out.
Oof.
And then they didn't talk about that, so when he got hit, he was already fucked.
Yeah. So this will be a big fight to see if he's actually
legit or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas Almeida, he's a vet, so it should be like it's a good test for him. But it's also like if he wins, it's like okay, he's here. He's okay. I hope he can because he's pretty good.
He's electric.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. Yeah. So then this weekend we got Burns versus Usman for the welterweight strap. I'm pretty pumped for that one. That should be a good fucking fight, dude.
Usman. Who do you think's taking it?
I don't know, bro. I think I might have to go. I want Burns. I really want Burns to win, but for whatever reason, I think I might take it. They're former teammates, so it's gonna be interesting. Like they sparred together. They know the ins and outs of their games, so it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be a full 5-rounder.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen though. To be completely honest with you, I gotta see what the fight card's like though. Yeah. Oh, we have Macy Barber in that card, huh? Yeah, so we have
Pedro Munhoz. I know him. I just know the name. I don't. Kelvin Gaslam. I know him. I've heard that name.
Yes.
The rest of it.
He's fighting Ian Hermish or something. Ian Henchy. Pedro Munhoz versus Jimmy Rivera. That's a good fight. That's a scrap and a half.
Oh, really?
The middleweight fight, Maki Pitola, Julian Marquez. That should be a good one.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but the Pedro versus Jimmy Rivera fight, 5'5" versus a 5'3" guy.
That's
Short
bantamweight,
kings.
baby.
Short kings.
Yeah, it's not a bad fight card. Should be scrappy. But yeah, Usman versus Burns. That's a tough fight for Usman. Because Usman's a wrestler, but Burns is like insane jiu-jitsu.
Mm.
So if it goes to the ground, it's whoever. I don't know. It may not even go to the ground. And Burns has insane KO power.
Yeah.
Should be interesting.
Could be a good month and a half.
Yeah, dude, I'm pumped. It's good time to be a fight fan. Stylebender and Jan, fire.
Yep.
You got 2 weeks until it's fucking time for another title. You got 3 title fights up.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be wild. The only thing that sucks that you have these 7 title fights in such a short amount of time or 6 or 7, is you have to wait till like the fall for them to fight again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
So it's all
like depends on the type of damage they take. Yeah. So it's gonna hold up a lot of those divisions. So I'm surprised they're doing this in such a short time.
Mm.
Because there's just a lot of interim championships.
Mm-hmm.
I would think. Like Stipe only fights like once a year, so say he wins, that pushes John Jones back to like November, December to fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that shit sucks. It just sucks. Because you're just like, as like a person wanting content, you're just like, oh, let's have all these fights, and then you're just like, oh wait, no, the human body can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have Max Holloway waiting on the heels of the Volkanovski and Ortega fight at the end of March.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta think they get like a 3-month rest and then do a 3-month training camp. So like you're thinking that fight happens in December? Like really? Like yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Right? And plus with COVID and everything, like quarantining, say who gets it. You know?
Yeah. Shit's fucked.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it. That's pretty much what I got for tonight, dude.
Me too.
I don't know if you got anything. Yeah, I think we covered a lot, honestly, from the span we last talked. A lot has happened. You know what I mean?
Number 2? Is number 2 in the books?
Number 2 in the books, baby. Pretty successful.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
I love you. Even the guys that said you're trash.
Yeah, dude. Haters on the YouTube, you gotta chill, bro.
Yeah.
I know they say not to read the YouTube comments, but when you only have one comment,
it's kind of hard to miss.
Yeah. When you get that notification,
I deleted the other comment. I deleted another comment, but it was just a guy posting a website, and I was like, I don't know what this link is, so I just deleted it.
Yeah,
and I was
no,
like, chance it.
That's sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.